In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie, Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. Come on in, have a seat, and relax yourself. Hey, Miss Jackie Gaines, it is always good to see you. Now, do you ever wonder why there is no talk about Keith Porter Jr.? Jackie, have you heard of Keith Porter Jr.? Anybody in the chat? Have you guys heard on any of your national news about Keith Porter Jr.? I've heard of him. I live on the West Coast, so of course I've heard of him. But it's just, well, I'm not gonna even say yes. Thank you, Jackie Gaines. Okay, and not definitely not on the national news. Now you would think that more people would have heard of Keith Porter Jr. because Keith Porter Jr. was shot by an ICE agent in his own apartment complex. He is an American citizen. You haven't heard anything about Keith Porter Jr. on the national news. There is no disputing his shooting. There is not the argument of him interfering with an ICE agent, and anything can happen. You know, hey Lena, there's absolutely no argument about whether the ICE agent was within their rights. There is no argument that the ICE agent was not within their rights. The news is only covering that clear woman that got pow-powed. Exactly. They're only covering these people who voted 45, 47 into office to deal with us. And it's national news when they are getting dealt with. That's the only one they're covering. So, for those of you who are not aware, Keith Porter Jr. was shot down in his own apartment complex New Year's Eve by a off-duty ICE agent. So there could be a, no quarrel about whether he was doing something that was within his line of duty because he was off duty. Hey, Kivia. I hope you have a good day as well. And we're not going to hear anything about Keith either, except on social media or word of mouth. Now you understand that this man was in his own apartment complex on New Year's Eve, where an ICE agent lived as well, off duty, instead of minding his business. Now, so you mean to tell me that ICE agents are able to run around and act like they some police agency? So, according to the ICE agent, he heard some shooting, and it was coming closer and closer to his door. So he got his gun, walked outside, and encountered this black man. It's New Year's Eve. Now, it's New Year's Eve. Have people heard? Uh, have you guys anywhere in a in the city, in the country, heard people shooting off guns? Would it surprise you to hear shooting off of loud firecrackers, pow pows, or whatever? Would it surprise you? It's commonplace. It's a regular thing that happens in the United States of America. So was this off-duty ICE officer first time experiencing New Year's Eve in the United States? Maybe somebody want to check his papers. If he found that it was strange to hear a loud burst of explosions on New Year's Eve. That's okay. So we have to suspend our imagination on that part of his story. So he said that the pals seemed like they were coming closer to his door, and instead of having sitting on his off-duty ass and calling the police if that's what he really thought happened, no. He gathered his government issued ICE uh, pow pow and decided to go out, and all of a sudden he was being drawn down on. Keith Porter is being drawn down on by this ICE agent who told him allegedly to drop his piece. And when Keith Porter, according to the off-duty ICE agent who pulled a gun on Keith Porter, when Keith Porter refused to drop his gun and allegedly pointed at the gun at the ICE agent shot. Why? Because he was in fear of his life. No, the ICE agent didn't shoot because he was in fear of his life. That ICE agent went hunting. That's exactly what that ICE agent did. That ICE agent went hunting. He probably knew Keith Porter lived in that vicinity. He probably heard. Hold on. Locked and loaded. Stay on topic. If you didn't catch his name, read the title of the video. As that shows how stupid and simple you are. Can you not read? Okay, so are we to believe that this guy who was so upset and thought that he heard gunshots? So this is a story. He refused to drop his piece, so therefore he shot him. And coincidentally, before the before Keith Porter lost his life, before he took his last breath, he shot off 3 shots. Does that sound like a defensive shot? That he was so wounded that none of the shots hit the ICE agent? The ICE agent never said that Keith Porter took shots at him. But Keith Porter got off 3 shots before he lost his life, is how they coin it, conveniently coin it. Okay, so then what happened? So did the ICE agent do what trained police officers or officers of the law are trained to do, is to call for help and render aid? Did he do any of that? No, what he did was he took his ass back into his home and then sat down and called the police. You know, the thing that he could have did in the first motherfucking place, the thing that he was supposed to have done in the first place. But you don't hear anything about this. And what's more curious about this is there have been no charges put on this ICE agent who was, in fact, not doing his job. And had he been doing his job, he would have called for backup and waited for backup. But we do understand that there's a large swath of these ICE agents who can't even pass background tests themselves. Thank you, Miss Jackie. Thank you for covering this story. I meant to cover it on, I think I came live Saturday, but I had to go abruptly, and I was like, I got to get this story out because all of this time, this happened before the Clear woman lost her life to ICE. Okay, so there's no argument. Well, she was impeding their operation. None of this is an argument here. This man, this ICE officer, has up until this date not been charged with a crime. So, because we see all of these ICE officers driving drunk on the road, and the first thing they say, "I'm DHS man, I'm ICE man." Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You want me to do a drunk test? Are you kidding me? I'm DHS. So, maybe he did this "I'm DHS man" sad sob story, and there are no charges brought on him. So, hold on one second. The reason why no one's talking about this, because it was a justified shooting. What justifies it? What justifies it? And that's why, the simple fact that you people find any justification to unalive black people, that's why your own people are about to feel the wrath, because you people have rationalized all of these lies and all of this bullshit for reasons. Oh, their pinky was twitching, so that's why I put another bullet in it. Oh, their knee was rubbing the ground, so I felt that he wasn't complying. That's why it's happening to you now. Don't be a coward with a gun. Only brave when with your arm, because you're weak. Uh, can you write that in English, please? can't leave the house without a gun because they are cowards. Who are they? These ICE agents? Is that what you're saying? Who are these days? English, please. Hmm. You see the excuses. Always excuses. He was celebrating New Year's. That's why he had a firearm. Oh, but you have to break down this to people. All of the sudden, everybody is unfamiliar with the fact that there has always been. I don't give a, I don't give a fuck if you live in buck fuck country, uh, rural areas, or if you are living in a city, a suburb. It is commonplace, a commonplace practice that has been heard in the United States of America for decades and decades. Now, even the uh, local police who are investigating it did not call it illegal. They said that they don't advise it, but they never said that it was illegal in the story that I read. So excuse me, locked and loaded. I understand that you guys would like to make new laws and rules when it comes to black people being gunned down for no reason. Who He did not have the authority to shoot him. And since he was able to walk in his house and call the cops after he took a man's life, uh, just because someone, if even if that was true, let's say that's true, what gave him the right to take his life for something that was illegal, that was not harming anyone at that time? Sure, I hold on one second. No, no, I'm gonna look up throwing your dumb bitch ass out of here because you cannot have a conversation because you know the dumb shit you saying is wrong, you stupid bastard. Get the fuck out of my chat. Your mama's a dumb bitch and she probably birthed you from fucking her brother. You probably your fucking uncle's child, you fucking piece of trash. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. They're triggered. I'm the dumb bitch, and he's sitting up here saying dumb bitch shit. Okay, let's go. So let me share. Let me share this with you. You guys know I like to share. You guys know I like to share information. So let me share this with you. Your community is a bunch of child efforts. How about that? The numbers don't lie. And if you want to start counting the numbers, count the numbers that are surrounding 45, 47. How many people on that ticket, his spiritual advisor, all of these people who are now spending time for exactly that. Mhm. Let me share this with you. This is from the Defiant Attorney. Let's get into this.
Of Renee Good was running 24/7.
Will be linked in my
And here I had
description
heard
box.
nothing, absolutely nothing about Keith Porter Jr.
This will be linked in my description box. It will be the first link, and will be labeled Keith Porter Jr. Let's get into this.
So the reactions to their death, ICE agent. Now you've seen Renee Nicole Good. I've done a video, a legal analysis on her death. But most people in America, I doubt, have heard about the death of Keith Porter Jr. He was an African-American man, a black man that was killed by ICE, an off-duty ICE agent. I didn't know anything about his story until someone asked me, had I done a story, had I created a video about Mr. Porter? And I said, no, I hadn't heard about his death. I mean, by that time, the death of Renee Good was running 24/7. And here I had heard nothing, absolutely nothing about Keith Porter Jr. So the reactions to their deaths have been very, very, very different. And that's what I want to get into in this video. I want to talk about how the national media has handled these two different deaths, two different people, both shot by ICE agents. All right? So here we go. Keith Porter Jr. and Renee Nicole Good. Two people killed within 7 days of each other by ICE agents. All right? So ICE agents shot and killed 2 Americans within 7 days, one a white female and the other a black male. The value appropriated to each of their lives couldn't be more different. National media elevated one death, that of Miss Good, and minimized the other. As we look at the incidents and we just consider how they've been handled, it also shows the great need for more black media, more black independent media, more black owned media. The Griot, The Root, Roland Martin's Black Star Network, the bigger black-owned media, it's not enough. We need more. And we need to support black-owned independent media because they just don't tell our stories. The people who are making the decisions simply don't tell our stories because we should have known about this. How could this happen over 10 days ago? Mr. Keith Porter Jr.'s death, how could that happen and we not know about it? Why didn't?
Okay. And let's hold it right here. Eddie too cool. Eddie too stupid. I'm sorry. It wasn't you. I'm sorry, Eddie. This one. JD Mosley. Sounds like they need to stay out of federal agents' way when they are working. Okay, so this is a typical case of the ignorance that 4547 love to entertain. This would be the ignorance of a 4547 voter. This is no argument in this case because there was no federal agent working. This ICE agent was sitting his funky, unqualified ass at home, in his home, off duty. You see how they try to rationalize you should stay out of federal. If you're a federal agent, you cannot do anything that is against the law. And if a federal agent does something against the law, then it's your fault. You see the white ignorance? Do you see the white ignorance? They can rationalize anything with a lie, with bullshit. But let's continue.
It absolutely flood the media. And I'd be searching I'd be looking for those kinds of stories to tell. And yet, I had heard nothing about it. Not anything, just crickets. Now, as I look at this, some people are going to say, stop making this a race issue. My response is, anyone who says that foolishness is dishonest and is just a fool. Why? Because white America has, from America's inception, made everything in America about race. So I'm not making it about race. Race is already in the fabric of the country. How?
Oh, you always want to make it about race. Because you don't want to ignore what the for-profit media ignores. You want to try to make something a national story when we're talking about this clear woman. Why are you trying to make it about the news? The simple fact that this has not got garnered national attention. This man was off duty, and no one is up in arms about what happened to him. It's always about race. And who always make it about a race? When you don't cover these stories, it's about race. So, for any of you guys who decide to write in my chat, do not be disrespectful to me, and I will not be disrespectful to you. I don't want to hear about anything that I'm not talking about. If you cannot follow the story, this is not a place where you will be allowed to drop a dumb propaganda. This is not the propaganda dump spike. Okay, let's be clear. This is an attorney, a lifelong attorney. So all of your ignorance is not going to fly here. And like I say, this is not the propaganda dump site. So let's continue.
Can you conclude anything else? We're talking about a country that enslaved black people for 250 years and genocide other non-white people to take the land, and Jim Crow and all the works. So these people running around saying America's not racist, there's so much evidence of America's systemic racism. Anyone who says that should be soundly and roundly condemned because they're being dishonest, they're being foolish. All right, so let's get into a little bit of the specifics. Both of these deaths are tragic. Truth of the matter is, neither one of their lives is more valuable than the other. They both were created in God's image. But that is not the way things operate here in America. On December 31, 2025, an off-duty ICE agent shot and killed Keith Porter Jr. in Northridge, Los Angeles, or Northridge, California. I'm not from that state, don't know much about it, but apparently Northridge, I believe, is in LA County, but it's not LA. It's one of the surrounding areas, if you will. That was December 31st.
It is
On
in
January
the
7th, 2026,
San Fernando
an ICE
Valley.
agent shot and killed Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis during a federal operation. All right.
Northridge, California is in the San Fernando Valley of California, the suburbs of Los Angeles. The valley. Yes, the valley.
We've seen video after video after video after video about her death. Apparently, there is no video regarding Mr. Porter's death, although some could come out. As I've said, even in the legal analysis of Ms. Good's video, that more evidence is coming out, right? The investigation, oftentimes these investigations just take time, and more evidence tends to leak out. So I'm sure I have just scratched the surface trying to get to know the facts regarding Mr. Porter's death. And like I said, the media treated both of them very, very different. National outlets immediately humanized Miss Good. as they should have. Reporters identified her as a 37-year-old mother, poet, and wife. See, they're talking up her humanity. Again, trying to humanize her. Journalists centered her spouse's voice in every coverage. Media framed her as compassionate, creative, and community-minded. So they were painting a very wholesome, very good picture of her. All right? And the ICE agent shot Miss Good while she was sitting in her vehicle. We all saw that. Multiple videos captured the incident and spread rapidly online. And in fact, a video was released by the government that affirms what I said in my in-depth legal analysis, that she was turning away from him. She was not trying to attack him. She was not trying to run him over. She was not acting like a domestic terrorist, as the government said. She even said in the video even captured her saying, "I'm not mad at you," she said to the shooter. Whereas when he shot her, you could hear somebody saying, I don't know if it was him or someone else, who said, F and B. So the narrative is quite a bit different than what the government has said about both the shooter and Miss Good. All right. National outlets replayed the footage and elevated public outrage. And there have been protests after protest after protest after protest. Federal officials claimed Good used her vehicle as a weapon. I don't see that, even with the video from his cell phone, the shooter's cell phone. Minneapolis officials publicly rejected that narrative. The dispute fueled sustained national coverage and protests. Right? So we've heard and seen so much about Mrs. Good's death. Now, let's contrast that with how media introduced Mr. Porter's death. Local outlets identified Keith Porter Jr. as a 43-year-old father of two. His family described him as caring, peaceful, and community-oriented. But the first article that I read about him said that he was an active shooter. Very different way than how the media reported Miss Good. Now, Mr. Porter grew up in Compton, reportedly. His nickname was Pooter. I want to share a little bit about him on a personal level, since the media is not getting this information out. He loved fishing. He loved to fish. Here we have him having caught what looks like a red snapper, I think it is. Okay, he loved to fish. He was a huge 49er fan, huge San Francisco 49er fan. He was also a proud girl dad with two daughters, one aged 10 and the other one 20. So he was a proud girl dad. He leaves two grieving daughters behind. All right. Now, his personal story was largely overlooked by the national media. His humanity appeared only late. All right. And that was because the family was pushing the personal, humanized side of Mr. Porter rather than this active shooter, right? This boogeyman, the scary black man who deserved to be killed, whereas Miss Good was unjustly killed. All right? And that's the very reason why we needed an organization like Black Lives Matter, and still need someone affirming that black lives matter. All right? All right, so this active shooter label that they attached to him, they repeated that in early reporting. And what the family says is that Mr. Porter was actually shooting in the air in celebration of the new year. And that is completely believable, because I know here in the DFW area, there is a lot of shooting in the air, around the 4th of July, as well as when the new year come in. I can tell. You can tell the difference between fireworks and gunshots. All right, so that definitely is a believable thing, that he was not shooting at anyone. He was not trying to harm anyone, not trying to kill anyone, but shooting in the air. All right. So basically the media moved on just based on this thing of being an active shooter. Like his life didn't matter because he was labeled an active shooter pretty early in the thing. Whereas Miss Good was framed as an innocent victim. Okay? Whereas Mr. Porter was framed as a threat. All right? And Miss
Kade, as our whites are the leading cause of death amongst whites. So what does the death rate amongst black do for you? And white people kill the most white people. So what would be your point? Hmm? You sound concerned. Where's your concern coming from? Go figure out where your concern needs to be. Let's continue. They want to tell you what black people are doing. They are so astute on black statistics, but they are not astute on the statistics that half of them are inbreds. Let's continue.
Good had the benefit of, again, the national media picking up her story and pushing it. And that wasn't happening and has not happened by chance. That happens because there are people, whites principally, in these media news rooms and the editors and so on, who are telling the folks in front of the camera what to say, oftentimes writing what they should say. So they push these narratives. It's good for business. It's good for the algorithms. All right. So the national media pretty much amplified the good regarding Miss Good's death. And as a result, people did what? They hit the streets. They protest. And it has become a national outrage. Meanwhile, crickets for Mr. Porter. Crickets. Crickets. And then there's another part to Mr. Porter's death. So let's suppose he was out shooting in the air. All right? In celebration of the new year coming in. So essentially what that means is he was a gun owner. He was exercising his Second Amendment rights to own a gun. But the problem is he's a black man with a gun. And I can't run with this thing about him shooting in the air because that has not been confirmed. And even if it were, he didn't deserve to die for it. Sort of like George Floyd. George Floyd was accused of trying to pass a fake $20 bill. That allegation was never proven. And even if it did not justify what we saw happen to Mr. Floyd. So I'm not running with this shooting in the air thing until that's been confirmed. And even if it is confirmed, I'm still not running with it, because then you're saying that it was a justification for him to be shot. Now, some news outlets have reported that he was shot because he shot at the ICE agent. Well, that too has been refuted, and it hasn't been proven. So I'm not going to run with that neither. The state has the burden in situations like this. If it's a criminal offense, I think I read it's a felony to do so in California, but the state has the burden of proving that that allegation is true beyond a reasonable doubt. And until then, Mr. Porter died presumably innocent of all those allegations or any allegation. And even if they are proven subsequently, again, didn't deserve him dying, leaving 2 children.
Okay. So, here's a idea. Don't be a criminal. Okay. Here's an idea. You're exactly right. Don't be a convicted felon who SA women. Don't do that. Don't be a convicted felon running your business illegally, that you're a 43-time felon. So then you put more felons out on the street who have a lot of whom who haven't passed their drug test. You're absolutely right. Do not accept people to be ICE agents who have worse backgrounds, and they don't check their backgrounds, and they bring them on board. It's months before they find out they are not qualified for the job based upon their belated background checks. You're exactly right. You are exactly right. But you'll vote for a criminal. You will vote for a criminal. Hey, Big Brenda, let's continue. And Z Sarah, if you see any propaganda in the chat, you're more than welcome to delete the messages. This is not a propaganda channel.
So yes, we got the Second Amendment, but as African Americans, especially men, sometimes that can be dubious. I've represented many African American men on gun charges, and the law sometimes just applies different to us. Let me show you another way that this is being really...
What shit am I making up? What shit am I making up? And don't write curse words in my chat. What shit? Be specific of what I said that was made up. Be specific. What did I make up? I'm waiting. What did I make up? What did I make up? Richard Carpenter. Oh, you wanted attention? You got attention. Vapid frame, and you are propaganda. Small time propaganda, but propaganda. It's small time because I'm whatever. For example, be specific. Be specific. Oh, you can't. You have been blocked. See how that works? Let's continue.
really unfair to Mr. Porter and his family. Let me show you another way that this has been really unfair to Mr. Porter and his family. Something you may never think about, but it's huge. And that is the good family created a GoFundMe for her spouse and children. And I checked it. If I was looking at the right one, it has already raised over $1.5 million. Over $1.5 million. And then I looked up whether Mr. Porter his family had created one for him. And yes, they had. And it, at the time that I looked at it, which was a few minutes before shooting this video, if that was the right one, had raised less than $5,000. Hers, 1.5, his less than 5 for his children who are left behind. And oh, by the way, a lot of people have said to African Americans that this has nothing to do with us, that this is all about immigrants. Okay? Well, this should show you that it does have to do with all of us. And when you have people, law enforcement, running around the streets with guns, the most endangered person is black men. It's black men. I pray that Mr. Porter is the first and last, but I have my doubts. So these folks saying this has nothing to do with black people, once again, they're wrong in their calculus. Now, let me just show you that academic research shows that media prioritizes white victims over black victims. Let me say it again. Academic research shows that media prioritize white victims over black victims, as if our lives are just not as important and just don't matter as much. Here's Mr. Porter with his grandmother, reportedly. And look at the love they have for each other. She loved him just as much as Miss Good's family loved her. He's just as valuable. His life matters. He too is made in the image of God. But again, because the media is controlled by both racist and biased white people, they often deminimize our lives. What else would explain the fact that this man's story had not been covered? A black man, a black American citizen, shot and killed New Year's Eve, and it was not a national story. Whereas the very same thing happened to Miss Good, and it has inundated the national media. News outlets, as we saw from this story, they personalize white victims more often. They humanize them. Whereas with black men, they criminalize them. And all the media bias against black men comes into play, right? We see it all the time. Black victims receive fewer follow-up stories. Black missing persons. It is very difficult to get the news media to cover the countless number of black people who are missing. But when it is a white missing person, it becomes front line, headline, lead story. Not when it's us. And again, it just highlights the need for black-owned, independent media to tell our stories and our voice in a way that does not criminalize us. And these patterns, they persist despite higher black homicide rates. In other words, it seems as though the media would share our stories more since black people are the victims of homicide more. No, that's not what happens. And nothing that I say here should be taken in a way to suggest that Miss Good's tragic, unfortunate death should be minimized. No, I think her death is, I did almost an hour video legally analyzing her death. And I too am, like other people, outraged as we see her do everything she could to avoid hitting the ICE agent. And as he did, he could have, and in fact, he did step to the side and didn't have to shoot her. And I explained in the previous video that constitutional law, constitutional cases, one in particular, Tennessee v. Garner, mandates that they don't kill a fleeing suspect unless that fleeing suspect poses a substantial risk of death or serious bodily injury to the officer or to someone else. And neither of those facts were in play in Ms. Good's case. So I'm not taking anything from her. Her life was valuable, but equally valuable was Mr. Porter's life. And when the news outlets start out by calling him an active shooter, mentioning that around him when he was possibly doing what so many people do around holidays.
I guess my outrage would be the same place where your outrage is about all of these fentanyl and heroin whites and what else? What else? What is all of you meth heads? I guess that's where my sympathy. Where's your sympathy for all of these hillbilly meth heads? Where is all your sympathy for all of this fentanyl that you guys are used in this country to the extent that 45, 47 has to use our whole military to try to keep fentanyl out of our country? Where is all of your angst for all for the I forget the name of the family who got all of you hooked on oxycodone? Where's your anger for that? And all of your people who commit crimes and lose their teeth and all lose their homes and live in a junky ass trailer. Where's all of your angst and upsetness about that? Since you decided to ask me, I asked you the same thing. I don't recall our military being used to keep crack cocaine out of this country. I recall that our military was the one who made sure that crack cocaine got introduced to this country, however. But I digress. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Shooting in the air. I'm not saying that is the right thing to do, lawful, legal thing to do. If it's against the law in California, then it shouldn't be done. I'm not encouraging law breaking. I'm just saying, first, that needs to be proven. And second, because he's not here to tell his story, right? But second, even if he did, if you go look up that statute in California, you will not see that it is a capital offense. And again, regarding him shooting at the ICE agent, they should prove that beyond a reasonable doubt before we accept it, just because they see it and the news media reports it. The family have said about him that he was a good guy. Let me see if I can find exactly how they characterize him, that he was caring, peaceful, and community-oriented.
Now, here you have someone. See, this is the dumbness. This is why 47 loves the uneducated voter, because the story is actually playing. I've actually ran over what the story was, and they should stay out of the way of ICE. As if this ICE agent was actually doing some actual ICE work, as if this ICE agent was even on duty. No, that ICE agent should stay away from things that he thinks sounds like gunshot and call the police. You know, the same thing that he did after he went out and shot and unalived a man. And if the man did shoot back at him, do you the residents of the building said that they at no point, oh my goodness, hold on, at no point heard an ICE agent identify himself when he allegedly told him to put the gun down. Yes, feel free to subscribe. I'm at it all week long. Okay, let's continue.
The people who know him best said that about him. So that doesn't sound like someone who is going to shoot shots at federal law enforcement or any law enforcement or anyone else. Okay, it doesn't, according to the family, he was a caring, peaceful, community-oriented person. So the point in this video is, unfortunately, we oftentimes don't matter to the national media. Our stories are first characterized as a criminal act. Our stories are characterized as if we're criminals, and they're not usually picked up. They don't matter. Our lives don't matter. And so here we have Mr. Porter, who was killed by an ICE agent a week prior to Miss Good. And most people, even those who are conscious, probably didn't know anything about it. Well, hopefully, this will help get his story out in a way that doesn't demonize and criminalize him. All right, I am Reverend Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Thank you for watching this video from start to finish. And as always,
Apologize for that wait. So let's get back to some more things that I wanted to discuss today on my channel. I definitely wanted to cover that. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I have sincere there. Let me. Oh my God. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. Let's continue. Uh, there, uh, there were a couple of more things that I wanted to talk about. Who heard that Vivek Rashami, who is running for governor in Ohio, has a personal bodyguard for his family? And come to find out, his personal bodyguard for his family is selling meth. It's shipping pills through the post office, selling drugs through the post office. But I guess y'all don't want to talk about that. So we see what good sound choices uh, Vivek makes. So what else? Hold on one second. That is not this. I'm like wondering. I don't want to share this. Let me find my playlist. I apologize. That is the wrong list. Okay, let's get into what I do want to share. I'm like, why is none of this familiar? I don't want to share this shit. Um, Minnesota has just reached the breaking point. This is what I want to show you. Some of the things that is going on in Minnesota.
Some breaking news. There are huge protests that are starting to pop up all across the country. And the reason why these protests are popping up is because Americans have had enough. And we have a White House, as you can see here, that is deranged, led by a deranged president who is lawless, who is violent, and is promoting acts of violence against its own citizens. Here is the White House post. This is not made up. This is not AI. The White House posted a video of law enforcement shooting a protester point blank with pepper spray. Absolutely disgusting. Well, Americans have had enough. Here is just one aerial shot of Minneapolis moments ago. I mean, this is like thousands of people being peaceful, mind you, because I think the right wants to pretend like this is a violent movement. And we know it's not. It's not a violent movement. These are thousands of Americans standing up saying, this is not who we are. This is not who we want to be. And we're not going to take abuse anymore from our own government. Here's another shot here. I don't know about you, but it's inspiring to see. It's inspiring to see. And I just say, authoritarianism thrives not by the power it puts on all of us, like the power of the assault, the violence.
Okay, this link will be in the description box. Let me see right here.
Would still be here. She was a beloved child of God with inherent value and infinite worth. She was murdered by her own government in broad daylight in what should be the greatest democracy on the planet. America needs us right now in her hour of need. She needs each of us to step up and fight for our most fundamental freedoms. Like many of you, I'm tempted by hopelessness. But then I look out on a crowd of neighbors who are giving up their Saturday to save their country. And then all of a sudden, I feel a little bit of hope again. And a little bit of hope is a dangerous thing. The fact that all of you are here means you haven't given in to hopelessness. And that means the bullies haven't won. The antidote to despair is action. Every door we knock on today is for Renee Good. Every voter we reach today is for Renee Good. And when we win this election and take back this country, it'll be for Renee Good.
I love that.
Okay, let me go forward. I think that's maybe this is the mayor.
Mayor Jacob Fry here exposing why it's important that we're out here protesting.
Just to give you another example of how reckless some of these actions are, maybe 12 blocks from here, 10 blocks from here, over on 3rd Avenue, there was an ICE action that took place. An individual from a car that was in the middle of a pretty significant street was detained. They left the car in the middle of the street. The car wasn't even in park, and so you've got this vehicle that is just rolling down the street with nobody in it. And it wasn't a Waymo. This was a car that was rolling down the street that could have hit anybody, including my own family members that live not too far from there. And so this is not about safety, clearly. If this was about safety, you wouldn't do stupid things like that. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody has gotten killed. And so that's not the route as to how you do any of these exercises.
I love this guy. I love this guy. I'll let the Minnesotans tell me why this man shouldn't be running for governor. I heard Amy Klobuchar wants to run. Kind of how I feel about that is nothing like no ill will towards Amy Klobuchar, but I kind of feel like Democrats who have led us to this moment, I don't need you to keep running for office. Actually, one of the reasons why we're in this moment is because of the Democrats who are in the establishment who got us here. I kind of want new voices that know how to fight. That's how I
concur.
Feel. But maybe there's a reason why he should be mayor and just stay there and not run for governor. I kind of like this guy. Interested to hear what you think. Thank you.
So, as you see, the phone number is rolling across my stream today. How many of you have called your senators or your congresspeople? I understand a lot of you feel that this isn't your fight. But it is your fight to get people in office who are going to represent you and your interests. It is your fight to let them know that, hey, you're not representing me and my interests. So unless you start doing so, you need to do the thing that 4547 do. Tell them, if you're not going to do your job, I will vote someone in office to do your job because you're not representing me. And you sitting on the sidelines while all of this illegal shit is going on, while this president is robbing the whole fucking country for himself and his billionaire buddies, and turning this state into a third world state. Maybe you should call your elected officials. Maybe some of you should find out who your elected officials even are. Because blaming it on black people, blaming it on brown people is not going to do improve your life, not one bit. Does it seem like he's interested in improving your life? He's talking about going over to buy Denmark. They are doing strikes in. They are doing strikes in. Where is it? This morning. I want to say Riyadh. Syria. Your government is doing strikes this morning in Syria. How much money is that costing the American tax dollars? Doing strikes in Syria 2 weeks after they did the first strikes in Syria, a month late after 3 Americans lost their lives in Syria. And 2 weeks later, after they're a month late of having any response to these 3 people who lost their lives in Syria. It was a planned attack. What? They are blowing your fucking tax dollars up behind a war and bullshit. But they just had the Syrian president in the White House a couple of weeks ago. They just had the Syrian president in the White House. What the fuck was all that about? The interim Syrian president who used to be a Al Qaeda fighter who was fighting our soldiers. But you don't, some of you people don't find anything wrong with that because you're too inept to understand anything. That's why they always tell you that your problem is a black or brown person. A non-white person is your problem. But you don't have a problem with these palm-colored immigrants coming in here and bashing through all of your information and going through the Treasury of the United States and getting all these multi-billion-dollar contracts to do what? How is how all of Elon Musk, how is all of Palantir contracts benefited your life? But you don't have no problem with that. But you want to make fun of people of what they should and what they shouldn't be doing if they are on food stamps, what they should or what they shouldn't be eating if they are on food stamps, which pays about on average less than $200 a month for people who are on food stamps. But you have so much to say about that. But your mouths are closed on these multi-billionaires finding ways to make money off of all of your personal private information. You sit up and buy the fact that this race for the greatest AI is so important that you are mute on these big billionaires plugging these data centers into your electrical grid that raise the price of your electricity. You're okay with that. But you want to tell a poor person what they should or shouldn't be eating and what your tax dollar is doing for a poor person. But you don't have shit to say about subsidizing the water and the electricity of these data centers. Since you want to come over here and talk dumb shit, let's talk dumb shit. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you dummies. Okay. Y'all still want to talk? Oh, y'all don't want to talk. Let me see. Yeah, nothing? You have nothing? Mm. Okay, so I guess there's nothing. I will move on then. There is some more things that I want. Speaking of, did you guys hear that the billionaire who is most likely going to be the first trillionaire is leaning into this white supremacy? Let me know if my background, if you can hear my background. Let me get into the future trillionaire leaning into white supremacy propaganda. Shall I? Where is it? Where is it? Oh. Oh, I have to find it. Hold on. It's in another spot in my notes. Uh, Now, 4547 has also said, he's also said that uh, they will start pumping the Venezuelan oil right away. So we're going to other countries and we're pretending like this is our oil and we want our oil and our land back. How is Venezuela our oil and our land? You want to talk about black on black crime, but no, nobody has anything to say about the audacity of the president and vice president saying that Venezuela is their land. Nobody see the foolishness in any of that. Nobody sees the foolishness in any of that. So let's get into that right quick. Huh. Here we go. So here 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 is where we are. 4547 is mad at the Exxon oil executive who told him that Venezuela was uninvestable. He is now mad at Exxon. So he said maybe he won't let Exxon in on the Venezuelan oil because he was told the truth by the CEO of Exxon. Like you should be all in and just come on in and steal this oil. What is your problem? Why do you have a problem with this? Let me give this.
It is time now for Money Power Politics. In an exclusive interview with NBC News, President Trump says, and I want you to stop doom scrolling, just really pay attention for a second. He says the United States government could reimburse U.S. oil companies that rebuild Venezuelan infrastructure. The president did.
You, the taxpayer, can reimburse the oil companies, and the oil companies says that they are going to need at least $100 billion to shore up the infrastructure to suck the oil out of Venezuela for their own personal profits of themselves and their shareholders. Nothing about you. But 4547 says that the taxpayer can reimburse private businesses to make their own private money. But you guys have nothing to say about that. $100 billion. Let's hear this again.
He says the United States government could reimburse U.S. oil companies that rebuild Venezuelan infrastructure. The president did not say how much money that could cost, but I'm going to tell you, it's a lot. He believes that the oil industry could get operations, quote, up and running in fewer than 18 months. Oil experts would tell you a decade. So I just want to level set for a moment about exactly what's happening here. Nicolas Maduro is obviously no friend to the United States. But by sending our troops to Venezuela to overthrow him, Trump may have violated international law, sidestepping Congress, and threatened the world order. And while Maduro is locked up here in New York, his regime is still largely in place, and they will be as long as their oil reserves are open to U.S. companies. We do not know whether U.S. oil companies actually want to invest big in Venezuela again. Remember, that oil is not American oil. It is Venezuela's. Many years ago, U.S. oil companies made a bunch of very risky investments in Venezuela, and they got burned badly by Maduro's predecessor, who basically kicked him out. That history is still fresh in executives' minds. It is why Trump is dangling the carrot of big reimbursements if they buy into his plan. But for fact's sake, as I said, it could take a decade and billions of dollars for U.S. oil companies to rebuild infrastructure and get that oil pumping on Russian and Chinese oil fields, no less. And Trump, don't forget, he's leaving office in less than 3 years. Talk about it. Ron Insana joins us now. He's a veteran financial journalist and publisher of The Message of the Markets on Substack, and Jeffrey Sonnenfeld, Senior Associate Dean for Leadership Studies at the Yale School of Management. He's also the author of the new book, Trump's 10 Commandments, which is...
As a matter of fact, what they did was lose market share, and now they're trying to gain it back when prices are half of what they were. So it's not working. But the Saudis and 7 other OPEC nations have added a lot there, but it's not drill, baby, drill. Rigs are down in the U.S. We're seeing layoffs. Chevron, the one company that is still operating in, of course, down there right now still, they've cut 26% of their workforce. ConocoPhillips has cut about 20% of their workforce. Baker Hughes says their rig count is lower than it's been all the way down since the COVID era. You know, it's historic lows. So the
oil industry is not this drill, baby, drill. You understand that people in the oil industry are being laid off, but not so. Says 4547. He 3 days after this invasion, he had a bevy of oil executives sitting in the White House, overlooking where he tore down the East Wing, and talking about a freaking ballroom. Talking all of this pomp and circumstance of bullshit, and asking them to sit on camera and lie to the American people about how much that they would invest in Venezuelan oil infrastructure to enrich themselves, and talk about the 300 million barrels of oil that is on its way from Venezuela. That is our oil. Who's going to profit from $300 million of oil that 4547 has admitted just taking from Venezuela? But you have nothing to say about that. You have nothing to say about that. You have nothing to say about the European Union saying that if, in fact, 4547 invades Greenland, there is no more European Union, and they will be fighting on the side of Greenland. So it's just amazing the way that this person is putting the United States as a fucking target of the whole world because of his personal greed, in my opinion. Personal greed. None of them care about none of you. But you guys are fighting and acting like this the Gestapo out there is for you. You guys are out here acting like you're so happy about being in a police state because you don't think the police state is for you. What is for you? What has this government carved out for you, the American people? Huh? What of any of this shit that is going on in this administration has made your life better? Or even attempted to pretend that they are going to make your life better? What in all of these shootings and all of these illegal acts that they are taking across the nation, there is a big uprising in Iran, and they're clamping down on their people. What business is that of yours? What business is that of yours? That your president is talking about going over there and making strikes on Iran. When the Pete Kegbref, the when he was being confirmed as the Department of Defense, could not tell the Senate who were questioning him if he would have the Army shoot you, an American citizen. So we are supposed to go on the premise of we are going over there to bomb Iran because what they are doing to their protesters. When your own Secretary of Defense has not said he wouldn't shoot American protesters. And he have you dummies out here rationalizing shooting American protesters. This is where we are in this nation today. You guys are rationalizing shooting American protesters at a time that your government is about to send more billions of dollars uh, attacking Iran for the very same thing that you are championing in your own country. And you think someone take you people seriously? You just show the ignorance of you. You just show how stupid you guys just insist on being. And you get nothing for it. You get absolutely nothing for it. Oh, okay. So let me. I gave you the little bit of that oil story. Let me give you a little bit more.
First and foremost, obviously, is the interest that we have in Venezuela. And I think, the way I would position that, I think one of the reasons why we see many of the industry players here is we're in a depletion business for a product that is in great demand and will be in demand for many, many, many decades to come. And as a depletion business, the biggest challenge we have is finding resources. There's an opportunity in Venezuela with all the resources there. Is we don't have that challenge of finding. We have the challenge of developing those resources. So I think it's in the best interest of these companies and, frankly, society as a whole for the industry to be interested in understanding what the opportunity here represents. I'll just share a philosophy that ExxonMobil has when we enter countries, because we do business all around the world in a number of different regimes. We take a very long-term perspective. The investments that we make span decades and decades, so we do not go into any opportunity with a short-term mindset. There's a value proposition that we have to meet. It has to be a win-win-win proposition. Obviously, it has to be a win for the company and our shareholders to generate a return for the investments that we make. It has to be a win for the government. The resources are an important source of revenue that help support the people of the places that we do business. And it has to be a win for the people. We have to be wanted there and to be a good neighbor. And those three things ensure a stable, long-term platform for the large investment.
You see Susie Wild with her taut, pulled face get shocked and like, I can't believe he said this. We're being embarrassed by this ExxonMobil guy for telling the truth. Uh, uh, there is no safety. And let's not forget, when 4547 first spoke at this meeting, he said he guaranteed the safety of the oil industry people who would be working to set up their infrastructure for their own personal wealth. He gave them security guarantees. You know, the shit that he wouldn't give our ally Zelensky in the stopping the war in with Russia and Ukraine. He gave these oil executives security guarantees. Who is going to guarantee their security? The United States military is going to guarantee their safety. Well, if these oil executives were interested in it, why wouldn't they hire their own Blackwater to secure their own safety? Why would the American people be paying to secure their security as they set up infrastructure to steal the oil from Venezuela for their own personal profit? Why would the American people be on the hook in paying our military to secure oil executives to make their own personal money for themselves and their shareholders? But you people can't think. You people hear this in here 45, 47. Everything gonna be okay. The oil executives, they're gonna pay for everything. You hear bullshit, and you're so stupid that you can't critically think. No critical thinking skills. That's why he likes the uneducated voter. Because when you are educated, you are prompt to learn how to think for yourself. You are learn to not just take propaganda at its face. and run with it and think you are spinning in the chat when you show how ignorant you really are. But let's continue.
That we make for the long term. We have a very long history in Venezuela. In fact, we first got into Venezuela back in 1940s. We've had our assets seized there twice. And so you can imagine to re-enter a third time would require some pretty significant changes from what we've historically seen here and what is currently the state. If we look at the legal and commercial constructs and frameworks in place today in Venezuela, today it's uninvestable. And so significant changes have to be made to those commercial frameworks, the legal system. There has to be durable investment protections, and there has to be a change to the hydrocarbon laws in the country. We're confident that with this administration and President Trump working hand in hand with the Venezuelan government, that those changes can be put in place.
We're doing tremendous things. Our country.
And he estimated it would take 10 years to put those in place. Estimated 10 years. Now let's see how this meeting started. All of these links are in the description box under oil. Let's hear a little of this 3 days after the invasion, how he said that we can start this immediately. Immediately, he says. Let's hear the pomp and circumstances.
Is doing very well. You saw the numbers that got released today, yesterday. Deficits cut way, way, way back at levels that nobody's ever seen before.
Of course,
Setting
no one
records.
ever seen it.
And the numbers coming into our country are unprecedented. And we're doing really well. We had a situation 3 days ago with Venezuela.
The deficit has been cut back way, way, way. No specific number. In numbers that you have never seen before. But to get extension on health care, they had to go around Congress, and he was mad about the Republicans that went around Congress to extend health care so health care wouldn't go up 3 and 4 times more. When he sits here and tell you how much the deficit has been shrunk and gives you absolutely no information, no numbers, you're just supposed to take that and believe that. How great the country is doing. And this is what had to be done to guarantee that up to 25 million people wouldn't be cut off their health insurance. Did you hear him tout his how he prevented you from having to pay all of this extra money in your health care, or you would have to go without it? You heard him say nothing about that because he did absolutely nothing about that. Let's continue. So you're talking about ICE, and you have nothing to say about what the subject matter is. So that tells me that you have no argument. You live in propaganda, and you're a dumb fuck. You are a dumb. You are a dumb, stupid idiot. Goodbye. Because you cannot come up here in my room with propaganda. And if you can't stay on topic, and the only thing that you can say is something about ICE, please hit the like button on your way out. Please hit the like button on your way out. See, that shows your ignorance as well. Coming in here with this all this MAGA and we love ICE, you have no argument for your ignorance. You cannot speak on the topic at hand. With a Brazilian statue as their avatar. I didn't say I was intelligent. I said I was giving you facts. And if you take out the facts as personal insults, I don't know what to tell you. Because if you come in here acting dumb, I'm going to tell you you're acting dumb. And if you take that as a personal insult when you come in my chat saying dumb shit, oh well, you're going to get the truth. So if you're insulted, that's what you don't come in here saying dumb stuff. I just joined the room. What is the topic? The topic is 3 days after uh, the Venezuelan uh, uh, attacks. 4547 has these oil executives in the White House trying to get them to say on camera how good that was for America. He's asking them, how much will you be investing? And it was not until the ExxonMobil guy told him that it's uninvestable because the framework could be there, but there's nothing there right now for us to invest in Venezuela. I've been in Venezuela plenty of times, and no, it is not ready to for me to tell you I'm going to invest in Venezuela. And so now your president is saying that you, the American people, can subsidize these oil executives to go into Venezuela and build an infrastructure back up to make their own personal wealth. You, the taxpayer, and your military will be the protectors of these people who are going in, building up the infrastructure. You will pay your military to do this, and you will also pay for what of the $100 billion that they think that it will cost to rebuild the infrastructure up for these private companies so they can make wealth for themselves and their shareholders. That's what we're talking about. But some people are so uneducated and can't think for themselves. All that they can come in here and talk about ICE and all of this propaganda. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about 3 days after this attack on Venezuela, your president has said nothing about what he was going to do to ensure that people who were about to lose their subsidies for health insurance, he has said nothing, and the Congress had to go around them to get the subsidies extended for the American people. But he wants you to sit. He does a whole production about making wealthy companies wealthier, and you're supposed to be sitting up, jumping up and down for it. But some of you are jumping up and down for it because you cannot think for yourselves. That's what we're talking about. So let's see this presentation that he thought that he had laid out so lavishly for billionaire and billionaire corporations.
And we're getting along extremely well with the people of Venezuela, both the people and the people that are running Venezuela. I just want to thank our military. What they've done is incredible. That was considered unprecedented, to go into a military fort with thousands of soldiers and others, and to come in with 152 planes going every which way, and very rapid speeds, and helicopters, and to come out with no deaths and the loss of no equipment. It was pretty amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it. I was called by the leaders of numerous countries. I won't go into which ones, but the biggest and the strongest, and they said that was very impressive. They were all impressed. But today I'm delighted to welcome almost 24 of the biggest and most respected oil and gas executives in the world to the White House. It's an honor to be with them. We have many others that were not able to get in. I said if we had a ballroom, we'd have over 1,000 people. Everybody wanted. I never knew your industry was that big. I never knew you had that many people in your industry. But here we are. And if you look, come to think of it, well, I got to look at this myself.
Wow.
What a view. This is the door to the ballroom. Well, how did you have unusual time to look? but I figure we might as well do it. If the fake news would like to go back and take a look, you can, but you'll see a very big.
You see a very big ballroom. You know, we would if we had the ballroom. Everybody said we should have the ballroom, and it is fantastic. They're pouring down the concrete for the fabulous ballroom. That's a dry bag for contributions from these gas companies that he has sitting there. You know, we're going to go in the back and we're going to divvy up this oil. Oh, wait a minute. Let me look at the ballroom. That's called a dry bag. And everything is on schedule. You just fired your first architect for this ballroom. He wants you to tell you that everything is on schedule and under budget. But remember, the big, beautiful ballroom was supposed to cost $200 million, and it was going to be paid for by himself. And now it has ballooned to $400 million. So I guess it would be on budget if you keep changing the budget, and the budget is double what you initially said the budget was. I guess it can always be on budget. Let's hear him say this dumb shit.
Foundation that's moving. We're ahead of schedule on the ballroom and under budget. It's going to be, I don't think there'll be anything like it in the world, actually. I think it's will be the best. We went from, this is, as you know, our biggest room, which would seat 100 for dinner, maybe, if you're lucky, if you're nice and tight. And the ballroom will seat many. And it'll also take care of the inauguration with bulletproof glass, drone-proof ceilings and everything else, unfortunately, that today you need. So we're going to discuss how these great American companies can help rapidly rebuild Venezuela's dilapidated oil industry and bring millions of barrels of oil production to benefit the United States, the people of Venezuela, and the entire world. And yesterday, the number is 30 million barrels. I can't even, is that a correct number? 30 million barrels. You hear that, Peter? Of oil was given to us by Venezuela. That's a lot of oil. It's about $4 billion worth, and it's on its way to the United States right now.
30 million barrels of oil was given to us by Venezuela and worth trillions of dollars. But I have not sat down and ensure that the people in the United States will not lose their health care. So, why would the United States citizens be excited about this stolen oil? Tell me again. Do you think that people are going to just give up trillions of dollars of their fucking profit and it not put a stain on the United States? It not put a target on the United States? Is that what you think? Uh, why do you think that Costco is selling? Why do you think Costco is selling this? If you think it is all good, why is does Costco have uh, emergency food supplies stocked up from the floor to the ceiling? Oh, I'm sure some of you guys can't afford a Costco card. As you're sitting out here talking all of this profit propaganda. $179. It lasts 25 years. I forget the serving size of it. Let me see what the serving size of this is. Um, Meat and sides bucket. Easy to prepare. I forget what this serving. I cut that off. How many servings are in these buckets? Why do you think these ready these meals ready to eat are being stockpiled in places like Costco? Because the handwriting is on the wall, and if you can't read the handwriting for out here repeating propaganda, that's on you. That's on you. Okay.
And we want to thank Venezuela for that. And we're working very well with them, obviously, or they wouldn't have been so generous. But they respect us again. They didn't respect us at all before. So that's money that goes to the United States. Some will go to Venezuela, and some will go to the oil companies, but not that because that's already been extracted. So when you're not getting any of that, but when you start extracting, you'll get. But it's tremendous reserves, among the biggest in the world. Some people say it is the biggest in the world. And we're going to be working with Venezuela. We're going to be making the decision as to which oil companies are going to go in, that we're going to allow to go in. Going to cut a deal with the companies. We'll probably do that today or very shortly thereafter with Chris and Doug. And we're dealing with the country, so we're empowered to make that deal. And you'll have total safety, total security. One of the reasons you couldn't go in is you had no guarantees, you had no security, but now you have total security. It's a whole.
He guaranteed them total safety and total security. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for these oil companies to go into Venezuela and with guaranteed safety and security? These billionaires who, if they want to go in and steal oil, could certainly pay their own private security to secure them. No, your tax dollar is going to go in and secure them. He said your tax dollar can reimburse them. $100 billion can reimburse them for building the infrastructure that they need to continue to make wealth for them and their shareholders only. But you're sitting in here giving out propaganda. Okay. This link is in my description box under oil. Now, I definitely want you to know about this. Let me share. Citco Venezuela heating oil program. Venezuela pays for heat for homeless shelters in the U.S. The Citco Venezuela heating oil program has been a significant source of support for homeless shelters in the United States. The program has donated over 235 million gallons of heating oil to more than 1.8 million people since 2005, assisting families, homeless shelters, and Native American tribes across 25 states and the District of Columbia. The program has been crucial in providing essential heating oil to those in need, helping to keep vulnerable populations warm during the winter months. Do you think that program will still be up and running? Do you think that program will be up and running since 4547 wants to go in and talk about he's taking back the United States oil? Did you even know? Let me share this with you, just in case you think I'm kidding. But no one is telling you that this is who we have to look to pay for heating oil in the United States. Uh, right there, read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Let me drop the link in the chat. Here, you can read it for yourself. Oh, but you didn't know that, huh? You didn't know that as you're sitting up here talking stuff that you don't know. But we're going over there stealing their oil for multi-billionaire companies. Just in case you didn't know. Let me see. There is one more thing I wanted to share with you. Hold on. Um, I talked about this earlier, the strikes in Syria that are going on right now. Who's paying for that? What is the purpose of that? Do you know?
I'm Jose Diaz-Balart. We are coming on the air with breaking news at this hour. The United States carrying out strikes against Islamic State targets inside Syria. Let's take a look at this video. You're seeing these airplanes there. This is video of those strikes according to the U.S. military. The Pentagon says this is another round of retaliation after 2 U.S. soldiers and an American interpreter were killed during an attack back in December, the 13th of December. I'm joined now by NBC News correspondent Julie Sirkin. She is in Palm Beach, I should say, traveling with the president. Julie, what do we know about this?
Well, as you said, Jose, this is the second act of Operation Hawkeye Strike. That is how the Trump administration is describing this operation that began on December 19th. The second round of strikes happening today. It is a little bit smaller than what we saw back in December. It was in retaliation, as you said, for the ISIS blitz attack on the 2 National Guardsmen from Iowa and an interpreter that was with them that was killed on December 13th in Palmyra, Syria. We saw a couple of days later a very large-scale attack carried out by the military, according to the Central Command. This is sort of the group in charge of military operations in the Middle East, in certain parts of Asia as well. They say in a statement today that the strikes targeted ISIS throughout Syria as part of our commitment, they say, to root out Islamic terrorism.
Hold on. And here we go. Yeah, this lady is probably some hateful black lady. The normal. What black women are, the normal is the most educated people in the United States, if you are unaware of that. And if that makes you think that we are hateful because we have information, you're the normal, uneducated, non-black woman. No one buys into this angry black woman thing because black women have facts and it makes you feel insecure inside your body. Hit the like button on your way out. Uh, be sure to hit the like button on the way out with your racist, stupid ass. Let's continue.
Against our warfighters, prevent future attacks, and protect American and partner forces in the region. U.S. and coalition forces remain resolute in pursuing terrorists who seek to harm the United States. In some way, Jose, we knew this was going to happen because back on December 19th, at that point, there were strikes against more than 70 ISIS targets, facilities, infrastructure in Syria. We heard from sources with knowledge that these attacks by the U.S. would continue over the following weeks, perhaps months, depending on how ISIS would respond. We see now, of course, with this second attack, we know, according to the commander of CENTCOM, the spokesperson there, Captain Tim Hawkins, telling NBC News that more than 35 targets were hit, again, smaller than the attack that targeted 70 targets back on December 19th. More than 90 precision munitions were fired, and more than 20 aircraft were involved, some of which you've seen in that video posted by CENTCOM. And certainly this is a large operation. It comes, of course, as the administration is discussing, at least in preliminary terms, potential action in Iran as the government there cracks down on protesters. We know as well that over the Christmas holiday, the Trump administration launched attacks against ISIS targets in Nigeria. So this is something that we've seen from the administration, presumably will continue seeing, according to the statement from CENTCOM, again saying that their message remains strong. If you harm our warfighters, we will find you and kill you anywhere in the world, no matter how hard you try to evade justice. Jose?
Julie Sirkin in West Palm Beach, thank you so very much. That concludes this special broadcast. We'll have much more ahead.
Okay, I wanted to give you the information about this second strike. in Syria, much belated strike, and a whole lot of our war fighters. If you harm our war fighters, we will do this, that, and I think that happened over a month ago or something like that. Hmm. Let me see. There is something else. Oh, I think this is yes. This is
Donald Trump just suffered a disastrous trip on Air Force.
This is where 4547. I showed you the clip where the Exxon Mobil guy said, it is not the time to invest in Venezuela. And this is where 4547 says, well, I may take you out of getting oil in Venezuela altogether, ExxonMobil, because I have plenty of people lining up to steal the oil from Venezuela. So this is also under oil. Oh, so much under oil. This is in my description box. If you haven't checked out this young man's channel, go check him out. Let's play the press gaggle on Air Force One. Uh, Here we go. Let's see.
Good, right here.
At a very minimum, that woman was very, very disrespectful to law enforcement. And you heard the same noises. You saw the same crunch that I saw. You can't do that with law enforcement, whether it's police or...
But what we didn't see is what you said. At first, she ran him over. She was very, very disrespectful. So the new standard is if you are very, very disrespectful to an ICE agent, you deserve to lose your life. He's rationalizing losing your life to an ICE agent. You heard her. She was very, very disrespectful. You heard the crunch. No, I didn't hear the crunch, and we saw no crunch. We heard a cell phone going up against clothing. But the question would be, why is an ICE agent who is in fear of his life as he stands in front of a fucking car holding a cell phone up in the first place? I thought that a federal judge said all ICE agents must have body cameras. But ICE has been soaked with so much tax dollars that they have all of these things that they can do face identity uh, uh, features with their cell phone. That's why they're always holding up cell phones. So they can identify protesters who, under this new NSPM7, that will deem protesters in the United States as combatants. That's why. Because they are stockpiling the information of the people who are protesting. If you are not familiar with NSPM7, you may want to familiarize yourself with it. I will drop that in my description box, which declares anybody who is unchristian, un-American, whatever unchristian means, un-American, whatever that means, against capitalism, whatever that means. These are the vague terms that they are using in this government to denote you as a person of interest, a homegrown terrorist. If you are unfamiliar with that, that's why they are putting these their phones up in protesters' face. That's why Fox News is the only news channel who is saying that the protesters are covering their faces, because Fox News is indicative of the state-run media. It's kind of like a Russian state-run media. Who wants to assist them in getting protesters put on a terrorist watch list. You know, the same terrorist watch list that the United States is stockpiling on protesters. And while they're talking about they're going over to strike Iran for doing whatever it's doing to their protesters, while you're sitting up here trying to defend yourself about covering your faces to protest your own government. You didn't know that, huh? Who's familiar with the PM7? You better get familiar with it. You better get familiar with the fact that the DOJ has and wants to further broadcast a 800 number where anybody can report you to the FBI for being un-American. And if you don't know what that means, may want to read NS PM7. You may want to familiarize yourself. This is your government. As they pretend like they are doing something so lofty in striking Iran based upon what they're doing to their protesters. Why is Iran protesting in the first place? For the same reason you asked about the protest, because the economy is failing, because their is, I think it's called the REN. Their money is failing. You know the same thing that the dollar is doing, failing. You know that same thing because their prices are going up increasingly every day. You know the same thing that is happening in the United States. But the United States are going to be protector of the Iranian people who are protesting from the same shit that you're going to be protesting about tomorrow. Make that make sense. But let's hear this idiot.
ICE or Border Patrol or anybody else.
When it comes to ICE officials, no.
Our law enforcement.
Sir, do you believe that deadly force was necessary after watching all the footage a few days have passed? What's your assessment there?
It was highly disrespectful of law enforcement. The woman and her friend were highly disrespectful of law enforcement. You saw that. They were harassing, they were following for days and for hours. And I think, frankly, they're professional agitators.
But just
and I'd like to find out, and we are going to find out who's paying for it.
But
with their brand new signs and all the different things. But these are professional agitators, and law enforcement should not be in a position where they have to put up with this stuff. What that woman and what her friend and what their other friends were doing to law enforcement, not just ICE, law enforcement is outrageous.
I know Donald Trump doesn't read, but for someone who consumes as much Fox as he does, I'm surprised he hasn't actually seen the clip. And honestly, I'm sure he has. And it continues to baffle me that right-wing
lies and misinformation. We want to couch the story in lies. Let's continue.
Companies make commitments to you, sir? Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir? Have Exxon?
No, I didn't like Exxon's response.
No, I didn't like Exxon response. I didn't like the honest response. He embarrassed me. I said that we were up and ready to go and we can get this going immediately. Here is the Exxon Mobil question. He didn't like Exxon's response. Why didn't you like it? Because it was the truth? Of course you didn't like it. And look at this botulinum lip field baby bump having airhead behind him.
Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir? Have Exxon?
Has any oil companies made commitments after your meeting on Friday? There was no yes, so that means no. There was no yes to that answer, so obviously that's a no. Now, how much did the United States Treasury was spent on this theft mission? How much United States money was spent on this theft mission? To a country that was supplying heating oil to homeless shelters in the United States and people who couldn't afford to heat themselves during the winter. Something that the United States refused to do. So therefore, that's where they had to get their heating oil. Okay. Let's hear that answer again.
No, I didn't like Exxon's response.
Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir? Have Exxon?
No, I didn't like Exxon's response. We have somebody that wanted, I'd probably be inclined to keep Exxon out. I didn't like their response. They're playing too cute.
It was one thing when Donald Trump.
I'll probably keep Exxon out. They're playing too cute. I didn't like Exxon's response. Exxon told the truth, and he was embarrassed. Okay. Uh, Let me do this. Let me do this. Okay. Um, we're still talking about, once 4547 says to lie, Z Sarah, you have all of these uneducated dummies in here trying to rationalize a lie, but they have nothing to say about the actual content of of the things that I am talking about. You notice that, Z Sarah? I noticed that. No, you love or hate the truth. It's not about Trump. It's about the truth. It's about your tax dollars. You love or hate your tax dollars being wasted to prop up billionaires and billionaire companies. That's what you love or hate. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me double check and make sure that there. I had so much more for you today. Um, oh, let me see. Let me see. Oh, I did want to talk about that Elon Musk thing right quick. Let me find this. Elon Musk is going full white supremacist. If you doubted it, I don't know why you would doubt it, but he has gone full white supremacist and boosting white supremacy quotes. I think it's he says something to the effect. Let me find it. Talking about white unity is a must because if there is no white unity, they will take over and they will not be kind to us. Let me see. Where is this dumb shit? This race baiting, white nationalist talk that is being spilled all over the Twitter feeds. One second. I definitely wanted to share that before I go. And it's about Christianity. No, we know what it's about. We know what is being promoted in this administration, and we're not going to pretend like we are not aware. So if you are not aware, about to make you aware of we know all of the hate speech and all the racism that is being shared and reshared by Elon Musk, in my opinion, on X. So if you are unaware, let me show you the newest shit that he is promoting. This all of this white supremacy stuff. Let me find it. You can check that out. You can check this out first, since you want to cheerlead and continue to shop with Jeff Bezos and all of this type of stuff. Let this sink in for you while I find what I'm looking for. Musk's wealth in 2012 was $2 billion. Today is $493 billion. A whole welfare queen. All of the contracts that he has gotten from the American government. Bezos' wealth in 2012 was 18.4. Today is 240. Zuckerberg was 17.5. Today is 226. The federal minimum wage in 2012 was $7.25. And in 2025, the federal wage in the United States is still $7.25. It's not the start of an oligarchy. We're in the thick of it. So if you are unaware of where the money is going in the United States between 2012 and 2025, American citizens are still a federal minimum wage of $7.25. Okay, if just in case you were unaware of that, I will drop this link in the chat. I know we have a lot of billionaire apologists in the United States, but I want to share this hate speech that Musk has going on. Also, hold on one second. Let me share this with you as well. If you are unfamiliar with what it appears, 4547 is copying. If you
became honorable exactly a century later on January.
If you disagree with this, you can disagree with it, but notice the correlation. I want to share this with you. I will drop this link in the chat as well.
Hello, my friends. 10 lies Germans. We're told 10 lies that you are being told. I'm coming to you after living in Germany for many, many years. This is my area of expertise. Number one, political violence is patriotic. In 1923, Hitler's failed Bierhaltputsch in Munich was mythologized as noble defiance. Violence became honorable. Exactly a century later, on January 6, 2021, deadly political violence at the U.S. Capitol was labeled peaceful protest, even a day of love, a beautiful day. Insurrectionists were recast as patriots, not attackers of democracy. 1,600 were pardoned. Number two, aggression restores greatness. Nazi Germany tore up international law, saying invasions would restore national pride. And under the same justification, illegality called national security. A U.S. operation in January seized Venezuela's head of state without war authorization, illegal force, rebranded as righteous purpose. Number three, judges and opponents are enemies. In both areas, independent courts and opposition figures were vilified as threats to the nation. Judicial independence is called disloyalty. Law is no longer neutral, but another weapon of polarization. Number four, the media is the enemy. Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda chief, taught Germans to hate free journalism. Today, discrediting news outlets as fake or traitorous achieves the same thing, making objective information untrustworthy. So only the regime's propaganda remains. Number five, we are victims of conspiracies. Nazi Germany posited this vast Jewish Bolshevik plot, undermining purity and destiny. Today's would-be dictators push a deep state narrative, pointing to invisible saboteurs, justify every failure, and deflect every responsibility. Number six, foreigners are a mortal threat. The Reich painted ethnic outsiders as parasites, biologically corrupting the nation's blood. The same lies are everywhere today, claiming migrants replace or destroy society. That is racist conspiracy as policy. Number seven, state enforcers only preserve order. Germany's SS and SA were sold as protectors, not aggressors. And when modern paramilitary violence or vigilantism, as we have witnessed this week from ICE, when it is excused as maintaining order, that is a lie repeating from history. Perpetrators as saviors. We're at number eight. Loyalty outranks expertise. Purging civil servants and replacing university leaders or inspectors general with loyalists hollows institutions from within. Systems built for accountability become instruments of obedience. We are at number 9. Emergency powers are essential. Authoritarians always stage perpetual crises. Germany's Enabling Act, today's security exceptions, any pretext to bypass law fosters permanent emergency. Freedom is suffocated in the name of safety. And number 10, only we, the regime, only we tell the truth, the ultimate lie, that everyone else deceives you. Once the public accepts that claim, fact itself loses meaning and democracy dies, not from invasion, but from infection. And I'll be back.
Okay, there we have that. I also, there is a quote, a couple of more quotes. I want to, a little more information that I want to give you. Let me share this with you. This is a legislator in Kentucky. Let me share this with you. Let me restart it. Here we go.
Have created an environment of hate, and then we look at them like there's something wrong with them. First you hated black people, then you hated Jews, now you're hating everybody. So the question is, when it's the only people left are you, will you hate yourself? Power concedes nothing. This house is for the people, by the people, to serve the people, and you won't listen. You go after everybody's kids but your own. You make hate the way to go as long as it's not applied to you. None of us said we would come here and hurt people, and yet you make trades and policy so your bills can be heard. You go against the people of this state. This is a horrible, horrible session. This bill is horrible because it has nothing to do with the people. We have created an environment of hate, and then we
Okay, that link is in your description box. If you are unfamiliar with it, it's time to get honest and figure out what are you benefiting as an American citizen from all of this paid with your tax dollar Gestapo and wars and strikes and theft from other countries. What are you benefiting from any of this? And where are your elected officials to respond properly to any of this? Now let's talk about how 4547 sat in front of oil executives and talked about how good everything is in the United States. Let's talk about the jobs in the United States. These things that they don't want you to talk about. Let's talk about these things. Let me, and this, I'm going to drop this in the chat. Hold on. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says U.S. may be drastically overstating job numbers. If you are unaware, look how many jobs. I think they said about 85,000 jobs were created in the United States last year. And that was in the first 4 months of last year. So after the first 4 months of last year, no jobs were created in the United States. But you are to believe. Now, who says this? Jerome Powell. And I'm going to end on that Jerome Powell note.
The chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said that over the past several months, 4 or 5 months, the job creation numbers reported by the United States government are wrong by 60,000 jobs per month. Now, let's be clear. The government has been reporting that we're creating approximately 40,000 jobs per month. So if they're wrong by 60,000 jobs per month, that means we're losing jobs. Okay, here's what's going on here. The numbers are fake. That's what's going on. That in fact, what the economists were predicting about how bad the tariff policy is, how bad his bill that he put through Congress is, how terrible they are, weren't showing up in the numbers. And the reason is because the numbers were wrong. This is not a rich people's issue. This is a direct blow to the middle class of America, to working families in America. That's who this is aimed at. The rich people are fine. And if you look at Trump's bill was basically a wet kiss to big companies and rich people. A wet kiss. And by the way, they're golden. This is a statement that bill and his policies are a gut punch to working families. Today, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said that over the past several months, 4 or 5 months, the job creation numbers reported by the United States government are wrong by 60,000 jobs per month. Now, let's be clear. The government has been reporting that we're creating approximately 40,000 jobs per month. So if
Okay, I dropped that link in the description box. And so if you understand that, now I reported on Jerome Powell busting 4547, trying to insinuate that Jerome Powell had gone over budget in the building of the new Fed department. Now, we have seen 4547 try to fire the governor, Lisa Cook, under some bullshit that Bill Pulte, who's over Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, a lie that he told that she had illegally tried to save money on her mortgage by denoting a second home as her primary residence. They used that to try to get her out of her job at the Feds. Who is she? Lisa Cook, an educated black woman, the first black woman in that position, a highly educated and qualified black woman. Who is Bill Pulte? Bill Pulte is a nepo titty baby who got the job over Fannie and Freddie, who come from a billionaire home building company. Who is Bill Pulte again? Bill Pulte is the one who tried to get Lisa Cook a job taken from her at the Feds to ruin the independency of the Fed by putting a Trump sycophant in her position. It did not work, though. Finally, the Supreme Court ruled that Trump couldn't fire her. But what else did Bill Pulte do? He charged Letitia James with the same thing. But in Letitia James' case, they weren't trying to get her job. They were trying to get her locked up behind this false claim. And what happened with that? That case was thrown out as well, because while Letitia James was qualified for her position, the person that they tried to get her put up on charges was not qualified for her position. Lindsay Halligan, a former pageant contestant in 4547's pageant world, tried to, and she is still a judge's want to see her right now, because she has told that she is unqualified for the position and that she no longer has that position, and she's still signing her name as some deputy chief of Northern Virginia. She still is pretending as if she has. I'm wondering, is she still getting paid your tax dollars? They have pulled back a lot of funds that the Congress has said that should be spent on different things, and if she's still signing her name as if she has the position, to the point that she has to go in to see a judge to let her know that you keep on, you're gonna lose your law license. Okay, so now Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell was accosted. If you guys may remember this story, he was accosted by 4547 and what is this? Russell from the Cosby Show cartoon. What is his name? Tim Coon from North Carolina or South Carolina. Let's watch this interaction between Jerome Powell and how quickly Jerome Powell fact checked this lie. When 45, 47, and Tim, whatever his name, came down to look at the place, and then he hands it over to Tim, and Tim is the I heard that you had gone over $1 trillion. That's what I said. 1.2 trillion, 2.2 trillion. Let's remind yourselves of what happened.
What's happening? It's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed, one of the reasons why I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses. Wanted to figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and
so you notice, Tim, but let's bring you in here. Do your job, Sambo. Oh yeah, the the overruns, and we wanted to know why. All of the it's hard building basements where basements are, and I brought Tim here, and here come Tim, waxing master's balls. Why, Tim? Why you want to know why? Didn't he shut down your one thing that you successfully did in supporting black businesses, and you have nothing to say with about that? But here you are. You told the line all during the election, and called him daddy. You called him daddy, and you have no place in this administration. But here you are with this bullshit. That's
with me for a long time, and and Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Dango!
Indeed, one of the reasons why I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses. Wanted to figure out why.
One of the things we wanted to see, the overruns. We wanted to know why. Who are you to know why? Because you have been dragged behind 45, 47 for so long. Huh? I'm Tim Scott.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
And immediately, Jerome Powell is saying, no, it's not. I'm not aware of that. It went up a little bit or a lot. It went up a little bit or a lot. In the meantime, the budget for this bloated ballroom has doubled, but he says that they're right on schedule. It went up a little bit or a lot.
It just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody.
Or a lot.
Indeed, one of the reasons why I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses. Wanted to figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added. Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added a whole building. Yeah, I don't know. It just came out. I have it conveniently. I came to look at the. I came to just look at the building and see how it's going, and I just happened to conveniently have something in my breast pocket. You added a whole new other building. And yeah, well, it's part of the whole thing. It's part of the whole thing. The Martin building was built 5 years ago, so he gets fact checked to his face. If you don't believe me, just watch.
Building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
So it's not new.
It's part of the overall. Look at it's part of the overall. It's a building that's being built. No, it's a building that was built 5 years ago that you tried to tack on to make it seem like Jerome Powell had gone that much over budget. So yeah. So yeah. Well, let's see that again.
I'm
not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added. Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them.
How do you expect any additional cost overrun when you never showed him a cost overrun in the first place? Why am I talking about this? Because this is why
we're thinking about bringing a suit against.
This is why. These links are in my description box under Powell. Let me start this over.
Bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. These are $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats, highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built for a much smaller price. So we're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence. Because think of it, these aren't.
So he is standing before a podium with these same talking points that was refuted. And he is thinking about bringing a suit against Jerome Powell for incompetence. When we just saw his incompetence and the incompetence that he brought with him to broach the subject of overruns that had not happened. Okay, so why are you showing me this, Ronnie Q? This is why.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
We're just taking a look at what's happening, and it's a tough construction.
Okay, so there is an investigation into Jerome Powell. Let me see. Oh God, I hate that I hate. Oh, let me see. 1 second. Let me find this Elon Musk story that I wanted to give you. Here, let's here we go. This is the story that I wanted to share with you. Let me make sure this is the recent story. Yes, this is it. Let me begin with this. Understand that this is a immigrant, but I'm sure you some of you will agree with this immigrant. Okay. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so you can peruse it for yourself. But let's get into what this immigrant to the United States. Elon Musk amplifies white supremacist message. Will Republicans keep his money? Of course they will. A billionaire Elon Musk has been highly controversial figure for quite a while, but the former Doge chief is finding new ways to draw attention to himself. Um, President 4547 once and future buddy has endorsed a social media post calling for white people, especially men, to defend their uh, political power against other races and ethnicities. Why is that important? If white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. A user going by the name Jur wrote on X. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men while white men hold a collective might, a majority, then they will be 100 times more hostile, 1,000 times more hostile. So they are admitting to their hostilities against non-white men by saying they, meaning non-white men, black people, brown people, Muslim people will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel. So what they are doing here is admitting their hostility and their cruelty and trying to put it on people who they are being hostile and cruel to, in saying, if we lose the baby race, they gonna be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel than we was to them. Them that we put in slavery, who we subjugated on every front, as we pretended as it was them not wanting to do better for themselves, as we pretended like we didn't put every roadblock in front of them to steal and rob from them, to amass our wealth off of their backs of free labor, to redline them, to prevent them from housing and banking and all of the shit that we did to them, and they still strive. And now we are so insecure that they may want to have retribution on us. No, but nobody thinks like you people. Nobody think like you people. And the fact that you're thinking that they will be 1,000 times worse than you were, it shows you. You knew you were wrong. You know you're wrong. Okay, so this is the post that Elon Musk shared and put 100 of the 100% emoji behind it. Okay, um, let me see. Where were I? A white man hold a collective majority, then they will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they are a majority over white. White solidarity is the only way to survive. To be sure, Musk didn't write this missive. What is this? To be sure, Musk didn't write this missive, but just days after a dining with 4547 at Mar-a-Lago, the billionaire used the social media platform he owns to amplify and endorse the explicitly white supremacist message. The controversy coincides with a unrelated scandal involving Musk Enterprise, as MS Now colleague Johanna Jones reported. Musk's artificial intelligence company is facing international condemnation after it debuted a spicy mode last week for its AI chatbot Grok. The feature allows users to digitally remove clothing from images it has been deployed to produce, what amounts to uh, uh, child corn, along with other disturbing behaviors. So, would you be surprised? And after finding that out, he did nothing to correct it. Now it seems like a good time to ask: are Republicans officials and candidates going to keep accepting this guy's campaign contribution, or will Musk's money eventually become radioactive? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. The question is not entirely academic. While the billionaire invested a jaw-dropping $288 million in the 2024 election cycle to boost 45-47 and other GOP candidates, Musk said that after ending his White House role last year, that he intended to scale back his political investment. But he also said that he was going to create a third party, a third political party, and now he's back nuzzling under the nuts of 45-47 himself, as he has been shown. Has as he has shown up at many of the White House events. Are we kidding? The trouble is, Musk, who's made similar vows in a recent past before reversing course, has already indicated that he's ready to boost Republicans again ahead of the election day 2026. ASIO reported a couple of weeks ago. Elon Musk has begun funding the GOP House and Senate campaign for the 2026 midterms, an indication his relationship with 45-47 has thawed since their messy breakup earlier this year. Musk, who threatened to launch a third party and support challengers to Republican incumbents during his dispute with 45-47, is now firmly back in the GOP camp. The tech billionaire recently cut big checks to help Republicans win congressional races next year, and indicated he'd give more throughout 2026 cycle. Two sources with knowledge of the situation tell Axios. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What is this? Did Twitter just get Doge on X on Sunday suspended Twitter's accounts in a move that deleted, at least temporarily, and sports the account that sports the social platform's old name. Oh, I guess the name Twitter. Okay, who cares? Okay, uh, Twitter account is suspended. Okay, so that's the story that I wanted to tell you. That's the information that I wanted to give you. Um, I wanted to be sure that you understand that these are the things. Hey, Miss Jackie. Oh, I saw you, Jackie. So tell me, why did Democrats sold? So tell me, why did the Democrats sold or sell? Why did the Democrats sell, or why did the Democrats sold? Tell me that you can write this question in English if you really want to answer. Hey, Leonard, thank you guys. Sincere, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. Moving and acting from a place of fear. Shit, if you don't do anything to anyone, what's there to fear? Like moving from a place of guilt. That's a consciousness of guilt. That's a consciousness of guilt. Okay. So, scared of karma much? They prove every day why they shouldn't be in charge of anything. hmm They tell you what they're doing when, hey, we need white solidarity. We need some white solidarity. Oh, Lord. Well, they may outnumber us. No, they're going to treat us 1,000 times worse than what we treated them. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. Please hit the like button. Be sure to comment in the comment section and subscribe. If you come back tomorrow, there will be more. I appreciate you all for being here, and I hope you have a fabulous day. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Make a comment in the comment section if you would like to support the channel. $ Ronnie Q, all of the above. Uh, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will be back tomorrow. Less scattered, more prepared. I appreciate you. Standing by all of the pauses and stuff. I had a lot going on this morning, but I hope you guys come and join me tomorrow. I will be here. All right. And let's remember Keith Porter, who was unfortunately lost his life to a off-duty ICE officer. And let's remember Keith Porter. Have a good day. Bye-bye.